is Rambling Hour with Lisa, Season 6, Episode 2. I am happy to be here, and I'm doing a bit of a Valentine's theme, so that is what's going on here with all the red and the pink and everything. I will give people a chance to get on that are watching live. If you're watching this not live, then I gotta keep rambling so that it's interesting. But if you're waiting for me to go live, I'm actually on time today. Well, okay, it's 5 minutes after 8, but that's pretty good for me. And yeah, ready to ramble, and let's get ready to ramble. Okay, so let me show you all my decor, I guess. Like, I'm wearing like a bit of a scarf that I'm not sending to my sister Melody, which is what I usually do with them after I wear. But this is like, it's just a plain pink one. It's got a bit of like flowery stuff on it. I don't know if you can see. There you go. So it's pretty simple stuff, and I am keeping this one. But and then this necklace is like super old, from like Claire's back in the day, like when maybe even when I was a teenager or something. I can't remember how long I've had this. No, maybe I was an adult when I bought it, but it has a matching bracelet actually that I just remembered, but I didn't take it out. So yeah, wearing a heart for Valentine's. And hello Trish and everybody else watching. It doesn't always show me who's watching. And again, if you're watching this at a later time, then I won't know that you're watching either. Thank you, Melody. Melody says very pretty scarf. So these are the remnants of flowers that I bought for Steve. I bought 2 bouquets. Hi, Mom. I bought 2 bouquets for Steve. One was for his birthday, and one was for our wedding anniversary, which was the next day after our birthday. So they did look better before. There was red roses and stuff too, but the lilies are looking really good. And some of the other ones are getting a bit droopy, but yeah, I put some of the red rose petals down here too, but my light's too bright to see if you can even see down here, but you probably can. So that is what's going on here. Thought I'd use them. I was gonna use them last week too as a prop because they looked so beautiful last week, but I didn't. So yeah. So, and then I have some cinnamon hearts here, which are one of my very favorite candies. This is really cold because I just took a bag of them out of the freezer. Okay, so there's this restaurant all my Canadian people and even American people will know, A&W. It's a burger place, and it stands for Allen and Wright. Those are the people who started it, and they have these root beer suckers, like lollies, that taste like root beer, and they're so yummy. And so when I go there, me and Melody or whatever, I try to get as many lollies as I can and as many root beer suckers as I can. And so, but when I brought some home, if I don't eat them right away, they kind of go soft and gross. So I keep them all in the freezer now. And so when I got sent these cinnamon hearts and a few more bags last year, because you can't get these here, I keep them in the freezer. So that's why this is really cold, but I just filled up the jar. And what cinnamon hearts are is, I mean, it's not very hard to understand what they are. They're little candies that taste like cinnamon, and they can burn your tongue, and they're so yummy, and I love them. And I already ate some while I was getting ready, so my tongue's burning a little bit, but I really love them. And so thank you again to my friends Stephanie and Meg and somebody else. Who else? Somebody else sent me some, and I'm sorry that I'm forgetting right now who sent me some. I think there was 3 people last year who sent me some. Oh, I dropped some. Oh, I know. Yeah, who was it again? I don't know. I can't remember. It came to me. I thought it came to me, and now I've forgotten. So, let me just look at the comments. Melody said, love the flowers. Just finished making green onion cakes, and I have bread in the oven. That sounds delicious. Mel, are you making soup with your green onion cakes, or Chinese food, or what? And Trish says, sweet, I'll swing over to Melody. And the green onion cakes won't last long. Brett loves them. I've never made them. Sorry, I'm distracted by the fact that there's cinnamon hearts on my floor now. There's 2. There's one that way and one that way. Yeah, so yummy. Sounds good, but at the same time, as soon as I hear it, I think carbs. So I would eat one, but I would have to, I know it's so pathetic, but I really do look at my food differently now, which is a good thing. Otherwise I would overeat, which I can't say much because I didn't have dinner, and I just ate a piece of toast with olive spread on it, like instead of margarine or butter. and that is not a balanced meal. But I wanted something in my stomach, so, because before you know it, it'll be 9 p.m. when I'm done this, and then I still wouldn't have eaten anything. I mean, I made okay, so when we make meals, we make extra. Like if we make chili, we make a big bunch of it, so we can make like frozen containers of it in the freezer, so I can just give those to Steve in his lunch or whatever. But I want to like refresh what we have, so that's what was for dinner tonight. And yeah, and the cinnamon hearts, Trish, yeah, that's calories as well. But I haven't had any of those in a very long time, and like I said, I just took them out of the freezer. I mean, I'm surprised that I even have them. Like, it's been like almost a year since they were sent to me, and I've been really good at not taking them out of the freezer and eating them. What was I saying? I've got distracted now. Oh, so Erica had chicken Alfredo that was frozen, and Steve had beef stew, which actually he made. I didn't make it, but I warmed his up tonight, and the other two girls haven't eaten yet. So, but yeah, it's cleaning out the containers in the fridge, and we have lots in there, like gumbo and mothie fish, and like I have a lot of things in there that I'd like to eat, different curries. But I forget about them, and then, yeah, so I need to eat those for my lunch as well. Although the thing is that for my portion sizes and stuff, the way that I freeze them, I just fill the whole container. So then if I warmed it up again, it would be the whole container, where portioning it is probably like half of that for a meal. So I could eat it for my lunch and then my dinner. Or this next batch, I should probably freeze things with my portions in mind, you know, so I can mark them if they're frozen for me or if they're frozen for someone else like Steve or whatever. Because I do that with Steve's stuff. I mark it if it has, because he can't have peppers, and he doesn't eat white pasta because it bothers him. He's allergic to peppers, bell peppers, and pasta, anything white bread, white pasta bothers him. So I mark it if it's pasta, if it's like bolognese with white pasta, then obviously I wouldn't give him that in his lunch. Or, you know, like me and him will eat the brown rice, whereas the kids, they eat a rice trio. So they, like, it's not just white rice, it's like jasmine, basmati, like white long grain or whatever, and brown rice mixed, and they don't complain. But if I just made them brown rice, they wouldn't eat it. And when we get Chinese food, for any dish that we order, like if we get chop suey or chow mein or something, you get like a side dish. You get a free like boiled rice or egg fried rice or chips, which in Canada we call fries, french fries, whatever, chips. But what I've been doing now is, because sometimes you get like so many of them that they don't get eaten, but now I have started freezing the little tins of egg fried rice and a boiled rice, and then it's really easy if the kids have like a chili. So I take out a container of chili, take one of those boiled rices out, flip it into a bowl, because you're not going to put tin foil in the microwave. I add a bit of water on the frozen rice, put it in the microwave for, I don't know, 2 to 4 minutes, and it comes out fluffy and great, and the chili, like, it works really well. So I don't want to waste my free things that I get from the Chinese. So, and when I buy Chinese food, I'm not going to waste my appetite on just rice. I'm going to save that for later. I'm going to eat the good stuff the day it's there. So I'm just going to have a sip of my pop, and then I'm going to tell you guys something that I was trying to remember to tell you guys last week, but I wrote it down. So okay, so where should I start with this? Okay, so yesterday there was a manifestation workshop that Steve and Jackie did. So manifesting is putting your order into the universe. So cosmic ordering, what's the other term for it? There's another term. Anyways, putting what you want out there, and like attracts like. So if you're giving off positive, then you're going to have positive in return. If you're sending out negative, you're going to get negative in return. And this was on a podcast that I was listening to last week, and I listened to it right before I did my live, and they said this, and I wanted to repeat it on my live, but I couldn't remember it. So I wrote it down on my phone. I listened to it again right after my live and wrote it down. And I was going to put it as a comment, but then now I didn't ever do that, so I have it Basically, it was talking about like, again, you got to believe in all this woo-woo stuff, which I do. So if you believe in a spirit guide or your spirit team on the other side, and you believe in, you know, the energy, cosmic ordering and manifestation and like attracting like, it was saying that a lot of times when we want help from the universe or God or our spirit guides or whoever we're calling on, you know, praying and saying we need help, life is hard, we need help. It's like putting two different commands into your computer at once. So a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this all the time, I ask for help and then I get in my own way and try to do it myself instead of waiting for the help. But the guy who was talking said it's like putting two separate commands into your computer. So to your spirit guides, you say, I want help. And then all of a sudden you put in, there's never anybody there to help me. No one's ever there to help me. So when you, oh yeah, law of attraction. Thank you, Melody. That's the other term. So when you're saying no one's ever there to help me, you're bringing that upon yourself. You're saying no one's there. No one's there. And imagine that you were putting those two commands into a computer. If you put in help and then all of a sudden you put no help, they're going to cancel each other out. Your computer's not going to be able to do anything for you. So what you need to do is ask for that help and then wait and trust that it'll do what it needs to do. And the other thing is how you phrase things. So with manifestation and the law of attraction and cosmic ordering, when you put something out there, you want to say it in the positive way. So if you're lonely and you want people to come into your life, you want, you don't want to say, I'm lonely, or I don't want to be lonely anymore, because you're putting lonely, it's hearing the word lonely. So it'll bring, you know, you're bringing that upon yourself. You want to say, you know, something positive like, good people around me. I want good people around me. I want people around me who will benefit my, you know, people around me for my highest good, for my, to lift my spirit. You know, good people around me. One of the ones that I say often is, like, I want my own money. I want income that I haven't won. I want to work for my income, but not necessarily out of the house. And I want, so I want a bank account with money in it, and I want it to be my own stream of income. What am I saying? My brain's just not working. And I say this all the time because of the way I put it out there. And so I see my bank account in my mind. It's got a high level of income, like a balance, high balance. And I want it to be legal and moral. And so financial abundance. There, my brain. So I don't say money, like I want lots of money, because I might get lots of money and then I have to pay bills right away with it. So I tell myself I want financial abundance. I want to see my income refreshing itself in my bank account, that I get to spend money on what I want and it refreshes itself. So I keep saying financial abundance, you know, and you got to be very specific with what you order as well. So yes, Melody said be as specific as you can. And Janice says you say what you want, not what you don't want, right? Yes, you say what you want, but you want to say it in a positive way. So if you're saying, I'm always in abusive relationships, I don't want to be abused next time. Well, you need to not say abuse. You need to say it in the positive. Say, I want a loving, see this is how I cosmic ordered my husband now, Steve, is that I dated someone who was like more of a child and I was like the mother figure. But what I wanted after that, I didn't care if I was in a relationship really after that. But if I was to find a relationship again, I wanted a partner. I wanted someone equal to me who was willing to put into the relationship the same amount of work that I was willing to put into it. I wanted a partner, not somebody above me, not somebody below me, partner. So, yes, Mom says I want a loving. Yes, so I want a healthy relationship, loving relationship. I want an honest, hardworking, positive person. You put in the positive words for it. So I want to have a healthy body, not I want to lose weight, or I don't want to be fat anymore. That's negative. Yes, you don't want to be fat anymore, but instead of saying that, you say the positive. So every day it's like an affirmation. You're saying, I have a healthy, you know, and it's not necessarily about losing weight to look good in a bikini. It's about having a healthy body, right? So that's what I tell myself too, is I don't want to look skinny and gross. I don't want to just lose weight. I want to have a healthy, functioning body that works for me and I work for it. So healthy. So you say the positive. And the thing about the specific is that they say you'll get what you ask for, and it's true. So you got to be very careful and very specific what you ask for. You and be ready for it, because once it comes, you know. So if you say that you want to get into another relationship and you put your order into the universe for your partner, and you're not specific. A good example that Steve says in the workshops is a lady that they know that she ordered, you know, she put out into the universe what she wanted in a partner. And she got everything she wanted. He was a great guy. He was, you know, everything worked well, except that he was married. So she didn't specify that what she wanted was somebody who was able to commit to her and nobody else. Somebody who, you know, and so for me and Steve, we got everything we wanted in a partner. And but we never specified when we put our order into the universe that we wanted them to live near us. So we got everything we wanted. It just happened that we lived in different continents. But yeah, so there was something else I was going to say. Yes, that's Melody said, and specifically your country. Yeah, you just got to be careful. So, but you got to think about exactly what you want and then be ready for it. Because how many times in life do we look back and say, you know, I really wanted that job, or I really thought that was the person for me, and now we look back and think, thank God the universe knew what it was doing, because I'm glad that didn't work out. So, what's an example? Well, there was this, me and Steve were looking at this property. It was dog kennels that were up for sale. It's like what they would call a small holding here, what we would call an acreage in Canada. And it had dog kennels. It was so nice. It was, what was it called again? Was it Bluegrass? I don't know. I liked the name. I liked everything about it. And it was up for sale, and we talked about it, and we thought about getting it. There would have been lots of pros and lots of cons to it. But having a dog kennel as a business, I mean, he's a businessman, so he would know how to run a business. And I love dogs, and I would, you know, be great at that. But at the same time, for the cost of the place, and we could have done it, but I said, you know, when I put an order out there, I say, is it for my highest and best good? Is it for my highest and best good? I only want things to come into my life that are going to be good for me. So with that, we had to think about it. We put it out there into the universe. If it was meant to be, if it was for our highest and best good, then it would come to us and it would be the right thing to do. I didn't want to take on a property and a business and then, or where we're comfortable right now and we can pay our bills right now and we can do the repairs that our house needs and the renos that we need and everything else without having to go into debt and stuff like that. I didn't want to take on a property and a business where we have a huge mortgage and payments and everything else, and then we have to work twice as hard or 3 times as hard as we do now to try and pay the bills and to try and get on top, especially when, you know, when Steve, technically he could retire anytime if he wanted to, but he doesn't. But why would we want to put ourselves into a situation where we're working so hard to just pay the bills? I'd rather live in a smaller place. That's what I would say about that too. I'd rather live in a small house where I can afford the repairs and have the things I want in that house and have my bills paid than live in a big house and not be able to afford repairing it, not being able to afford the property taxes, the bills and everything else. So we never got that place. We never got that, and I'm okay with that. I trust that the universe knows what it's doing. I knew that if it was for our highest and best good and that was what was supposed to happen for our lives, then we would have got it. But I you know, and part of me was sad a bit because like lots of dogs would have been great, but yeah, I have to trust the universe. So when you put your orders out there, make it very specific and then trust that it'll come. And also with the timing, you gotta just like remember that the universe doesn't work on the same time as you. So if you want something next week, it might not come to you next week. It might be better for you next month or next year. So I'm not going to go on about the manifestation stuff because, I mean, if you want to learn all that, you can do a workshop with Steve and Jackie. But that was what the quote was that I wanted to tell you guys last week, was about that. Yeah, if you want help from your spirit guides or your spirit team, or you ask God, you pray to God, or whatever your thing is, give it time and trust the process. So, and don't get in your own way. Like I said, that's what I do. I'm like, oh, you know, when I come to a struggle in life and I'm like, oh, I really need help with this. Can you guys please help me? Just show me the right direction. Give me some signs of what to do. I mean, I'm leaving it all up to you. So many times I will say that even now still. I say, God, I'm in your hands. Whatever direction you want me to go in life, just lead me there. But then I'll, you know, the next day I'll be like, all right, I better get this done and that done, and I'm going to do this, and and I better go and get this done, because if I want to get there in life, then I need to, and I've totally just not trusted and not done what I just said. Like, I'll leave it in your hands, God. And I don't mean just be idle and don't do anything. I mean, trust the process. Trust that wherever you are in life right now is exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're learning what you're supposed to be learning right now. And everything that's happened in the past is the way it was supposed to be too. And that actually helps me a lot in life, because sometimes I feel like I feel guilty because I don't have a job outside of the house. Although I do work hard in the house to make sure everything, I feel that way. Okay, so I think I've said this before, and I tell the kids this all the time. Me and my siblings were raised with parents who had stereotypical roles. My dad worked out of the house, 9 to 5, and my mom was in the house, raised us kids and everything else until us kids were a bit older. When Tina was about 11 or 12 or something like that, or maybe even 10, I don't know, mom got a job, but she wanted to. We could have made it without mom working, but she did that for herself, which is fine. But they never made us feel like a woman needs to do these jobs and a man needs to do that. It was never like, it just worked for my parents. And so it's the same thing with me and Steve. And I tell the kids that all the time. I make Steve's meals. I clean the house. I try to do everything to make him happy. Why? Because he works his butt off outside of the house, doesn't complain that he has to get up every day and go to work and do everything to give me the ability to stay home. So it's a partnership, as I said. I wanted a partner, so I expect to give that back in a relationship as well, and I was totally willing to do that. So I will do everything to give him a happy home and the kids and everything else, and I'll give 100% here because this is my job right now. And I expect him to do the same. And I tell the kids that all the time. I said, listen, if I worked out of the house as well as dad working out of the house, then you better believe I would expect him to do half of the housework and half of the, cooking. And he does cook sometimes, so that's not the point. But yeah, I don't do all this stuff because it's the woman's job. I do this stuff because I'm the one running the household, and he's out there working and doing his part. But if we were both out there working out of the house, then we would both be doing the stuff that needed to be done in the house. So, what was my point? I don't remember. Cosmic ordering, giving the universe, telling it to blah, 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 getting in my own way. I don't remember. Trains left the station. So, just wait, I need to read a comment. I don't know what that says. Melody said, maybe God gave you the strength to do it yourself. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about believing that you're on the right path. Yeah, I just saw that. Steve sent me this thing today. I'll put it in the comments. And it was Morgan Freeman and this actress, the actress from Gilmore Girls, the mom in Gilmore Girls. So I don't even know what movie or show it was from, but he was saying something like, if you ask God for courage, is he just going to give you courage, or is he going to give you situations for you to be courageous in? If you ask God for strength, is he just going to give you strength, or is he going to give you situations to, practice your strength in? Something like that. I'll put it in the comments. But it was thought-provoking. So yeah, just trust that you're on the right path. That's what I was saying. Okay, so I was saying that sometimes I feel guilty for being at home and not working out of the house. Not saying that I don't work hard or contribute, but just I feel like the financial, should I have physical income coming in, right? But I mean, Steve probably wouldn't be as happy at work and wouldn't be as productive at work if he wasn't happy at home. So if you think about it logically, it all works together. We're a team. Everything we do works together. It's not about just the financial money, because like I said, maybe he wouldn't bring in as much money if he wasn't as happy at home, or he didn't have his meals, and so it all works. But sometimes I get down on myself and I feel guilty because I'm not bringing in any finances myself, which is part of why I'm putting that cosmic order out there to have my own finances. But The thing is that I got to trust, and I put that to the universe, you know, when I say, like, God, wherever you want to lead me, whatever I'm supposed to be doing. So if I'm supposed to be doing these lives every week, which I do feel like I'm supposed to be, for whatever reason, even just visiting with my family, but I do feel that there's something more to it, although I don't know what it is. And then, like I said, with the gardening, a few years ago when I was like feeling guilty being in the garden all the time and feeling like maybe I should be doing something more for the family or something else. And that, you know, and I got the voice in my head, you know, my spirit guides and God, whoever you know, you believe in, it's your spirit guides, but your spirit team, will call it. They, you know, I got saying in my head to keep going. I was supposed to be in the garden. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. And now I don't know if the gardening thing is because, you know, Steve had talked to me about doing a gardening show before, or if it's because of the way that I see the family feel when they go out in the garden and how much they love it, or if it's for all the photos that I put on the internet of my garden and the joy that brings people, or why I'm supposed to be out there, if it's something to do with my future, or if it's just something now. Like, I don't know, but I trust that voice in my head. And I trust that if it says that I'm supposed to be doing these things, I'm supposed to be doing these things, and I'm on the right path. And I try not to ever feel guilty about what I'm doing, if it's for my highest and best good, or if it's for my family and friends' highest and best good, and if it's positive, and as long as it's not affecting anybody in a negative way, then you're okay doing whatever you're doing. And then again, you have to ask yourself, are you happy? So if this life is like a matrix, if this life is just a simulation where we're here to play and play these characters and play these roles and learn things and everything else, then why not have some fun while you're here and do the things that make you happy? Imagine that there's an afterlife and you get there, and then you find out that it was a simulation, you're here to play and learn, but the whole time you were just miserable. And you're like, what? I could have done anything. I could have went on trips and swam with the dolphins. I could have like shouted from mountaintops. I could have just swam naked and maybe got a fine, night in jail. But I could have done those things, and all I did was cry and complain, and you know, or I could have switched jobs, or I could have lived anywhere in the world. I could have done all these things, and all I did was like complain about how hard life was. Like, it would be shitty to get there in the afterlife and figure out. But then again, at the same time, even if you don't believe in an afterlife, obviously, again, I'm not encouraging anybody to go out there and hurt people or not. But if you don't believe in an afterlife and you think this is all it is, why are you working to be miserable? What are you doing to make yourself happy in this journey, especially if you think this is the only life that you get? Anyways, I am a rambler. That's what I do. There's not really any comments, so you guys are just listening to me ramble, which is all right with me. I'm going to have a sip of my pop, and then we're going to talk about books. So, finally, I finished. I got to do this for the still shot. No one ever has to die alone. Now, the problem with this book was that I'm not saying I know it all, but I knew a lot of the stuff in this book already, and so it was kind of not boring to read, but it was hard to read because, like I said, a lot of it I already knew, and but I wanted to read it because there's going to be things that I didn't know and that I learned, so it was definitely worth the read. But it was just I kept falling asleep while I was reading because a lot of times I was in the bath reading and I would just be too relaxed and I would fall asleep. But so it's Preparing for a Meaningful Death. It is a really good book. The lady who wrote it, Dr. Lani Leary, she has been at the bedside of over 500 deaths, and yeah, it's a good book for, again, in my series of helping you prepare for your best death and like what you want your death to be like, especially if something happens to you where you have to have end-of-life support or you know, in your last days, but also what you want to happen after you die for your family and friends and making all those things. But yes, it was a good read. It was worth it, but it took me a while to get through it. However, the book I'm reading now is a bit smaller, and literally it's smaller. It's an easier read, and it's little stories put together. And so I'm enjoying it immensely, and I'm only in chapter 1. It's called Visions, Trips, and Crowded Rooms. And this is the one that snuck ahead of my pile because I was just really excited about it. It is by David Kessler, and it says, Who and What You See Before You Die. I'll read you on the back. This book provides answers and comforts on death and the grieving process. Highly recommended. That was from Yoga Magazine. So Okay, I don't know if I want to go. Yeah, I might as well. I have a rambling hour, so I can tell you the synopsis on the back. Okay, so David Kessler, one of the most renowned experts on death and grief, takes on 3 uniquely shared experiences that challenge our ability to explain and fully understand the mystery of our final days. The first is visions. As the dying lose sight of this world, some people appear to be looking into the world to come. So we're talking about visions, like when people see loved ones that passed away. If you've ever been with somebody when they've passed away or are in their last days, and they say that, you know, like, oh, you know, if it's, say you're sitting beside your mom when she's in her last days and she says, oh my God, your dad's here. And it's like, no, dad's passed away, you know, dad's not here. No, he is. He's right there. He said he's coming to take me, you know, and so that's what we're talking about, is when they see things at the end of life. The second shared experience is getting ready for a trip. A lot of times people in their last days will say they need to get their suitcase. They need to, where are the tickets? They're going on a trip. And that's what he's talking about there. Getting ready for a trip. The phenomenon on preparing oneself for a journey isn't new or unusual. In fact, during our loved ones' last hours, they may often think of their impending death as a transition or journey. These trips may seem to us to be all about leaving, but for the dying, they may be more about arriving. And finally, the third phenomenon is crowded rooms. The dying often talk about seeing a room full of people, as they constantly repeat the word crowded. In truth, we never die alone. Just as loving hands greeted us when we were born, so will loving arms embrace us when we die. In the tapestry of life and death, we may begin to see connections to the past that we missed in life. While death may look like a loss to the living, the last hours of a dying person may be filled with fullness rather than emptiness. In this fascinating book, Kessler brings us stunning stories from the bedsides of the dying that will educate, enlighten, and comfort us all. So yeah, it's not just him writing, he's collaborated, so it's not collaboration, compiled stories from other, like, nurses and doctors and different places where people have sat with people in their bedside or had okay, so a shared death experience is one of the things that can happen as well. And I have a friend who had a shared death experience with her husband, and that is, there's different versions of it. So I'll explain hers in a minute, but a shared death experience is when the person who is not dying is experiencing something with the person who's dying. So maybe you're in the room with your mom and she's passing away, and you too see your dad who has already passed away, and you can see him there. So not just the person who's dying, who people say might be hallucinating, or it's the drugs, or it's the lack of oxygen to the brain, but the other person is seeing the same vision as well. Also, it can happen where you see them going into the light, or so that's a shared death experience where where a person who's not dying is sharing an experience with the person who's dying. Now, Anne, our friend Anne, her husband Harry passed away from cancer, and they were friends of ours from Feathers, so they were spiritual as well. So to make him feel more comfortable on this day, Anne said, why don't we do a little meditation? So she sat back in her chair, closed her eyes, and she was doing a meditation with him, and he lay back, and now I might get a few of the details wrong, and I really want Anne to write this down, and if I was to do a book like that and compile stories, then this would be one that I'd want in there, because not all deaths have to be horrible. Lots of them can be beautiful, and this is one of them. So I can't remember exactly what they were doing in their meditation, but it was something like she was taking him. It was a guided meditation. She was guiding him. So we're on a beach, we're walking together, and then I think they were riding horses, and then she saw him ride off on his horse, and then she kind of woke up and came out of her meditation, and he had passed away while they were doing this meditation. And it was just, I have to get her to write down the story, because I might be getting some of the details. I remember the horse. I remember him riding the horse, and that when she woke up or came out of the meditation, he had passed away. So it was a beautiful transition, and she went with him up to a certain point, and then he went on his way where he was supposed to go. And it's like, if you have to go, what a way to go. Like, that was beautiful, and I love that story. So I'm reading that book right now, and I'm really excited about it. So after this live today, I still need to do my workout today, and then I will be maybe eating something out of the freezer and then reading more before I go to sleep. So what else should we talk about? Valentine's Day. So when I was growing up, we always had a Valentine, no matter what we had at school, or if we had a boyfriend or girlfriend or any of that stuff. We knew that no matter what, we'd have our mom as our Valentine. She would get us a balloonogram, which is like a helium balloon from school, and it had a little note on it, and you could keep it anonymous or you didn't have to. And so we would get that, and Mom would always make sure that us kids always had a Valentine and that she was our Valentine. So I do that for our kids as well, and make sure that no matter what, they get something from me. Now over here, even though Valentines I think originated in like the Victorian era and stuff like that, they're not really big into Valentines here like we are in Canada, where in Canada and maybe in America as well, the kids all give Valentines. You make little, like some kind of little mailbox for your desk, and then people go around putting Valentines in each person's mailbox, and you get a Valentine from like pretty much everybody in class. And it was so awesome when you were like in primary, like in elementary and stuff, like to get those things. And as you get older, of course you feel bad if you don't get anything from people, but at the same time, I was always taught that Valentine's was more than just love of couples. It's not just about your partner and everything else. It's about love in general. So, you know, friends and family and your puppies, your kitties, I don't know, you know, Valentine's. So where lots of people hate Valentine's Day and they think it's all about the commercial stuff, and they think it's just, you know, a way for industries to make money, like the flower industry and the candy industry and, you know, restaurants and everything else. It doesn't have to be about that. So I decorate for the season. So I decorate for Valentine's Day. And although it's important to show appreciation and love people all year long, it's just another one of those times that you can show love for everyone. So not only do I give our kids Valentines and decorate for it, it's just, it feels good. The colors, the love, you know, why not? Why not share love and celebrate love? Like I said, you can do it all year round, but it's nice to have that celebration. So I don't just celebrate it on Valentine's Day. I do it for a month or so before. Like once the Christmas decorations come down, then the Valentine's decorations go up. And right after Valentine's Day, it'll be St. Patrick's Day decorations, which again is so weird because there's not a lot of cultures that we celebrate like St. Patrick's Day. And even in Ireland, besides all the travelers that will go there, like, you know, like people coming from other countries and stuff like that, celebrating, wanting to be in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. That's why there's celebrations there for them. They're not really bothered about celebrating it. And in places like here in the UK, they don't really do St. Patrick's Day like we do in North America. But I just love having the different colors and the different themes and everything else. So I will be putting out my St. Patrick's Day decor as well. I have no idea who's watching right now and who's watching at a later time. So if you have any comments, please comment right now so I can have something else to talk about, because I don't know what else to talk about at this moment. I'm going to have a sip of my pop. Oh, I remember last week I was talking about my New Year's resolutions, and hopefully I don't forget one of them now, and that I'm still doing them, and there's 3 of them. Last week I couldn't think of the 3rd one, but what it was reading more. So, what was okay, so spending time with family more, and reading more, and oh yeah, and then use it or lose it, so just cleaning house and decluttering, which I'm always trying to do more of. Melody says, how's the weather? That is her helping me to think of something to talk about. I know yesterday both my mom and my sister Melody sent me videos, like literally a few seconds apart, of snow, like a video of outside their window of the snow falling, which was cool. I mean, but it was weird that they did it at the same time because it's not something they usually do. But yeah, I do miss the snow, but I guess it's been quite a bit of snow, if I'm not mistaken. Over there on the prairies, although some of my friends and family have said that they haven't really got much snow, so I have no idea what the world is doing. But here today it is rainy and miserable and windy, and I went outside today earlier because I wanted to, okay, so I have this thing in the kitchen. Hey Mom, did your gift arrive yet today? Mom, did your gift arrive? Sorry, distracted. Okay, so in the kitchen we have this screen, and it shows pictures, and it was showing it, I have it linked to my March album for oh, I guess the day is still a bit early there too, Mom, so it'll come today. Your gift should come today. Anyways, back to what I was saying is I was looking at pictures from my March what do you call it, garden, and I was just seeing some things that were in bloom, like daffodils and different things, and I thought, oh yeah, crocuses, they come up, like crocuses come up really early, and then those is it the, not Siberian iris, there's a certain type of iris that comes up really early. It's really short, and my brain's farted on that one too, but I have a few of those. So I wanted to see if anything was blooming yet, and so I went outside today to see, and I did find some things that the snowdrops are coming up, and they're not open yet, but they're, and so I was taking some pictures, and I missed being out in the garden, but the thing is, with the rain and the miserable, and it just lashing against, this is how gross it is outside. Steve didn't even take the dog for a walk today. He went on the bike instead, and he hasn't done that for months. Even in rainy weather, he'll still take the dog, but today it's just so cold and rainy and miserable, and the wind, and it's just like you don't even want to be out there for, and then so during the day when I went out and took a few pictures, it wasn't too bad, but then it started raining, and then it was windy, but then it was raining, and then later this evening I drove Aurora's friend home because of the weather, and it was like that, just going from the door to the car and then back from the car to the door again was like, ugh, I don't even want, and of course when I got back in the house I was like, oh, I forgot my purse in the car, so I had to go back to the car in the stupid weather, but yeah, it wasn't great. Sam says, hi beautiful lady, hope you and Steve are doing well. Thank you. We are. Steve has gone out with his mates tonight for his Sunday night. They have this new thing. What were they doing again? So if there's only a few of them, they do something else. Oh, playing snooker, I think. Yeah, I think so if there's enough of them that go out, then they play cards. But a few weeks ago, there was only like 2 of them that were able to go out. So then instead of not going out on a Sunday, because technically they're all supposed to go out, they're not supposed to miss it unless it's an important reason. But there was only 2 of them, so they went and played snooker. So now it's good, because only if there's a few of them, they'll still go out and get together, because they need that mate time to laugh and just, I told Steve that the other day. I have lots of people that I know here, and there's lots of people that I love, especially that I've met through Feathers and different things. But I don't hang out with anybody, and I don't chat with anybody except Samantha and her mom and like her family. But even then, I don't get to talk to them often. You know, we're busy with lives and everything else. But I just want to laugh more. And I said, you probably get that on Sundays when you go out with your mates, said to Steve. And of course, they just take the mickey out of each other, which means, you know, bug each other and just laugh. And I want that. I have a friend, Osiyuki, who is not on Facebook, so she won't watch this, but she's just one of my friends that anytime we hung out, we just laughed and laughed and laughed all the time, like the whole time we'd be together. I've known her since grade 5, so yeah, and we just always laugh, and we need more people like that in life, where we just laugh. So Melody says, are you completely comfortable driving there now? And yeah, I am totally comfortable driving here now. I mean, not, as I get older, it's the same thing as like, even, you know, like how Mom is like, the older I get, the less comfortable I am driving anywhere. But driving here is no different. I mean, now that I'm used to it, it's no different than driving anywhere, but people are idiots out there, and I make mistakes driving sometimes too, so it's just, you know, just those normal things. But yeah, for the most part, I'm comfortable driving here. And Sam says, I love going to Feathers. I'm meeting Jackie on the 17th. So yes, I do love Feathers too. And as I said before, but Sam, I don't think you were watching, is that the workshop, we just did a workshop yesterday, which was on manifestation, cosmic ordering, and my sister Melody, who's watching this right now too, was she did the workshop as well. And my friend Jess, who's, I don't know if she's watching this or not, but my friend Jess from high school did the workshop as well, so it was really cool. Although, like, and my daughter, our daughter Allison, the 18-year-old, she was sitting beside me doing the workshop as well, and I kept saying to her, like, I just want to say hi to Melody and Jess, but they don't know that I'm like, they don't know that I'm smiling, because I can see them on the Zoom, but we were all muted, right, because it's class. So I'm like, but it was just really cool to that even like in a virtual workshop that we could all be together, especially across the world. So enjoy your visit with Jackie, Sam. That is, I know how much Jackie and Steve's energy is just contagious and you want to be around them. And I felt that way even before I married one of them. So, but yeah, I do laugh with Steve. Oh my gosh. I know I'm more of a nut than he is, but he has to have, you know, kind of a quirky sense of humor to be married to me. So yeah, we do laugh a lot as well. But again, he has to work and we can't be together all the time. So, Sam says, I'm having a reading from her. She's amazing. Helps me a lot since I lost my 3-year-old son, Harley. And yes, I did know that, Sam. And I believe the anniversary for your son passing away was, did you just have the anniversary? And Melody said, I didn't have the gallery view on. Oh, you've never met Steve, Sam? I know that he's told me about you. I didn't realize you guys haven't met in real life. Melody, I didn't have the gallery view on either because, as I said yesterday when we were doing the workshop, I don't do it on my laptop. If I did on my laptop, I could have the gallery view on. But I need to use my data to do it. I don't use the Wi-Fi because I want to save the Wi-Fi for Steve. I don't want it to glitch or anything while he's teaching. So I go on my phone and then I use my data. And so when I'm on my phone, I can only see so many. I have to scroll through to see people. But yeah. So I at first you and Jess were on the same like screen. So I took a snap of us together. I know nobody knew that I was taking it, so it wasn't like the most flattering picture of us. But yeah. But then when Steve's cut out and then he came on again, he was at the end. But I like how on Zoom that if you don't have it on the gallery view, the person talking, so if Steve's talking, he's there and he's talking, and then Jackie says something, then it pops to Jackie and she's talking. And I love how he can do and I know that's what Zoom was for meetings for like conference, like businesses and stuff. So how Steve can then put up the like slideshow and everything for that he's doing. I like how that works. So I do like Zoom, and I was thinking about having a Zoom with some of my friends. Sam says anniversary is on the 22nd of this month. Yes. How many? So he was 3 when he passed away. And how many years has it been since he passed away, Sam? And Melody says, so you were creeping us. And yes, absolutely. I was creeping you guys. But I am sure that you guys, so when we did the second meditation, no one told me to come out of it. So I know I was like, I could still hear Jackie and Steve talking, but I was like still relaxed in the meditation. And then I was like, oh, are we supposed to come back now? And Allison's like, yeah, but she's like, I didn't want to wake you because I know that sometimes it's not nice to wake people when they're meditating. And I was like, and then I told Steve that later. I said, nobody made sure I came back. And he said, you've done it enough that you should know how to come back yourself. So I'm sure that, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is hilarious. So I can sleep anywhere. Speaking of being like with my head back and everything else, I just told the story to somebody else too, like a week ago or something. But I can fall asleep anywhere. It doesn't bother me to sleep in public, whatever, right? However, we had our flight was delayed. This was a few years ago, obviously, when we could still travel. Our flight was delayed, and we were in the airport. So me and the kids were catching some Z's, and Steve doesn't sleep well anyway, so he was awake watching the bags and everything else. I think this might even been when we were on our way to Canada, like in 2019, because I remember Owen being with us. So, and I have my neck pillow on, and I'm sitting in the chair, but I don't know if you guys can. I gotta get my legs into this shot. So Steve took a picture of me, and I'm slouched in a chair like this, and I need it a little bit up because you need to see my face, and then like this. No. And with the neck pillow, just drooling, like, ugh. And so you picture yourself sleeping in public, and that's fine, but you picture that you're just like, having a little nap. You don't picture yourself that you look like that. I'll try and find the picture and put it in the comments. And let me just sort this out again. So, Sam says it's been 4 years, or it will be 4 years on the 22nd. His court case is still ongoing as it was medical mistakes that caused his death. Yeah, I did read that because you shared something the other day that said like, oh, that's what you said. It came up in your memories that it was like an article that said, it said something like that, that the mistakes made, that he could have survived if they hadn't made those mistakes or something like that. So, but I mean, 4 years, that's a long time to wait for the court case as well. So I wish you the best for that. And it's horrible. I can't even imagine having lost a child, but at least, like you said, you have an angel to look after you. And I'm glad that you have people like Jackie in your life, so that you know that life goes on and that your little one is there with you on your journey. But I can't even imagine how devastating that must be to go through something like that. My portable charger is at 1, and that means my light will go off when it dies, which is crazy because it was at 100, but I guess I have it plugged in for my phone and for my light. I just want to see, Melody says to Sam, sorry to hear that, may peace be with you. And shoot. And Sam says thank you. I was just going to see if I could mute it while I'm doing this, so that if I shouted that to Allison, that it wouldn't break your eardrums. But I don't see that I can mute myself, which is funny because, you know, we were talking about Zooms and how you do that, so, and how you mute. Yeah, no, I can't mute myself. What should I do now? I have an idea. I'm going to be gone for 1 moment. I'm just going to grab my laptop. My time's not up with you guys, so I need my light to stay working. But it's going to be out for 1 moment. Plug it into my laptop. And turn it back on. There we go. So now it's working off my laptop, so we should be good. And yes. Okay. What happened? Why? I don't know if it's because my laptop's not plugged in. No, it's still on. I don't know what's happening. Let's hope that that doesn't happen again. I know, like last week, was it, or something, I did this, I used my laptop instead, but my laptop was plugged in, but as soon as I plugged my phone into my laptop as well, then the light kept going off, so then I unplugged my phone, but the light was still working, so I don't know. So let's see if this works. I really need to find something that, make sure I have 2 portable chargers or something that will work longer. I mean, we only have 8 minutes left, but I would still like the light on for it. But lots of this will be changed when the electricians, yes, once the electricians come and finish their work and everything, and we have actual bright lights in every room, then I won't have to worry as much about the ring light, although obviously that's what it's for, is for making it look more like, you know, lighting up my face and everything. But, so, the joiner, so like our carpenter, was installing the doors, and he has done most of the doors except 3 that are, they sent us the wrong size frames, the door frames. So we have our oak doors, most of them hung already, which are really nice, and they're beautiful. I need to add pictures of those. Excuse me, but he finishes work on Thursday, and he'll be back when we get the rest of the frames, and he has other work to do around the house, but he has another job that he needed to go on. So he was done Thursday, so Friday gave me time to tidy up the house and clean up all the dust and stuff from his work, just in time for Tuesday. The electricians are back for a few days of work, so I am so happy that we finally got them in. You know, they said in the new year, and it's like February now, so much relies on the electricians and their work. So, you know, this just puts us towards having our kitchen and having our kitchen and having our bathroom downstairs finished and everything else. So I am really excited about the, I don't know why it keeps doing that. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's gonna make me crazy. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm just trying another USB port on my laptop. But the thing is that this, oh, you can't see it. Even while it's plugged in, this little thing that I use to turn on the light is lit up. So it's got power to it. I turn it on and then it's going off for some reason. And I wonder if I turn it down a little like that. I don't know. Anyways, I have my laptop on my lap now. Look, this is what I did for Steve. We both had the same laptops. He has a different one now, but at the time when we were in Canada, we had the same laptop. So I put an Apple sticker on mine so we knew which one was mine. We can see you fine if you don't get it working. Thank you, Melody. That's true. And like I said, we only have a few minutes left anyways. So next week will be the 13th. So it'll still be before Valentine's Day. So I will do a Valentine's theme again next week. This chair that I have behind me, I have two of them. And they stay up in our bedroom because right now our bedroom is an orange and red theme only because that was the border that's up on the wall that was there when Steve bought the house. And we haven't changed that room because, again, the garage downstairs, what is the garage right now, will end up being mine and Steve's room. So when we have our room down here, then I'll redo that room up there and take that border off. But until then, I thought instead of having my room the colors I wanted, but it clashing with the border, might as well work off the border. It's not, red and orange are not the colors that I would tend to have for my bedroom. However, Steve has a Tigger collection, like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, because I don't remember how it started, but his kids buy him Tiggers all the time when since they were little, they were buying him Tiggers. So he has a Tigger collection, and I love Coca-Cola. So there is those things, and then I did it like a love theme. So really, a lot of things from our bedroom will go into my Valentine decoration stuff when we go into the garage. However, saying that, some of the frames I have up in our rooms are like these heart frames and different things, like which have lots of pictures of me and Steve together, and it's a good place for us to hang them in our room because then I get to see these pictures of us in happy moments. But we don't want our kids to throw up all the time and see all these pictures of me and Steve everywhere, because then it'll just be like, bleh. You know, you don't want to see your parents like all that. Oh, happy birthday, Sam. So, well, I'll say that to you next week too if you tune in. But Sam's birthday is on Valentine's Day, and she's going to be 44. So, Sam, I'm 43. So, you and I just turned 43 in October, so we're the same age. And just before Valentine's, on the 12th, is Amy's birthday, Steve's daughter, and she will be 30. So, that's exciting. Her and her dad are going to a Man City football game, which was his birthday gift from his mom and stepdad. So he's taking Amy for one last big, memory thing before she gets married in April. That is coming up soon too. Her and James' wedding is just at the beginning of April, so we're less than a month away till their wedding. So that's very exciting. And me and Steve both don't know what we're wearing to the wedding yet. Although his is more important because he's got to walk his baby down the aisle. So, happy birthday, Sam. I hope that you're going to have an enjoyable birthday. I wonder if that's been hard to have your birthday around Valentine's Day, or if it's been nice because there's been things out in the shops for people to buy you. I don't know. So I'm really enjoying this book. I know that I should read stuff other than, but we read what we are interested in. I am getting, I don't know if I said this last week or not, but I am getting very antsy for the garden again, seeing photos of the garden and just, there's certain things that are making me, not the weather makes me not want to be outside, but there's other things that are making me get back into the wanting to be out in the garden. But like I said, I did say this last week, I'm pretty sure. The thing is that I am so addicted to gardening and being out there that I know that as soon as I get out there, even if it was a cold, miserable day like this, if I got out there, I want to be out there every day, and there's always stuff to do. And so I know that I can feel it in my bones that I am like, it's going to be another gardening year that I want to be out there. I'm trying to make it more simple in the garden so that I can do other things with my time too, instead of it being like a seriously more than full-time job to make my garden look pretty. But Melody says she's starting rosemary and mint right now. Oh, mint will be, you don't even have to bring the mint in the winter or anything. Mel, did you overwinter those plants that you asked me about last year? If you did, I hope that they're doing well. You don't have to give things that you're overwatering in the house. You don't have to give them much water. You just need to keep them frost-free and don't let them dry out totally, but you don't have to give them a lot of water. Oh, you didn't even try? Well, hopefully, are they still in the pots outside? Did you at least put them in pots instead of in the ground? And if they're close to the house, then they might just get heat off the house and they might be all right. So yeah, I mean, I've let a lot of things freeze this year that I was supposed to overwinter indoors, but I just couldn't be bothered. And like it usually the caravan, like the guest house in the living room, is where I've been putting plants for the last few years. But this year it's been filled with big, fat, heavy oak doors, and all the door frames and stuff. So it's still not empty because there's the doors that are in there right now still that have to be hung once we have the proper door frames. That was a mess up from the company that sent us the wrong. We needed 170 mil door frames, and they sent us 370 mil door frames. Really ridiculous and shitty that we have to wait for new ones, but just want it done right. So yeah, so I'm excited about that as well. And I'm not excited about doing my workout, but I am excited about, okay, so I was saying this to Steve yesterday, like sometimes you see these people on these commercials for working out and stuff, and they're just like totally like into it and doing their thing, and they're like, I like working out. I do. I like the way I feel. I like the way it makes me look after when I've been doing it for a long time. I do like working out, but where's that energy that these people have? Like, where is that energy to like do the, I've been working out for like over a year, like almost a year and a half or whatever, and where's the energy to want to do my workout every day, to want to do more, you know, yeah. I know my sister Melody, I was just talking to her yesterday, and she said she started to do her workouts again too, but I just want no time in my life, even when I was in my 20s and I was working out and I was in the best shape of my life, I still did my workout every day, but I had to force myself to do it. There's been no time where I've got healthier and I've got more energy because of it. So I wish I had the energy to want to do more than 20 minutes to a half an hour of exercise every day. And I can, but again, it's forcing myself. But I wish I had the natural energy to do it. I know getting started like that day, like getting onto the cross trainer, the treadmill, or the bike, getting onto it, getting started into your cardio routine, whatever, getting started. You know how many times you lie there on the mat, you know, for, you know, your yoga mat, just thinking about the workout, playing on your phone, and before you get started. Once you're into it, you're doing it and everything else, but I wish I had more oomph once I'm into it to keep going and to be like, yeah, that was great, let me do another 20 minutes, you know. And I'm not just talking about like overdoing it so my body's too sore, but I just yeah, I don't know. And if it only gets worse as you get older, that's ridiculous, because I wish I had the energy to just yeah, like be fit like those people. Mom says, hey, I don't know if, oh, hang on, there's too many that you wrote. Hang on, I need to, okay, so Mom says, hey, I don't know if they'll deliver that today or if it will come tomorrow, because last time it didn't come on a Sunday, it came on the, yeah, I know, Mom, but it's Amazon, and Amazon will deliver on Sundays, I'm pretty sure. I think they deliver every day of the week. So it said it's supposed to come today, but maybe it won't. Maybe it'll come tomorrow, but let me know when it gets there. And for everyone else, it's my mom's Christmas gift that we ordered late, and it's taken over a month to get there. So I will tell you guys what it is next week, because I'm really excited about it. So, and this hair is actually my hair that I did yesterday for the workshop. Yeah, that's right. But it looked all like messy and crazy and whatever all day. So I just thought, I'm not doing my hair. I'm just going to leave it all messy and crazy for my live. And that'll just be one look and I think it looks all right. So yeah. I hope everybody is good and has been good this last week that I haven't seen you, and that you guys will have a good week until I see you again. Next week will be another Valentine's theme. I got this little truck which had a Christmas tree in it. It has these hooks on it that you can hang it to. And if you turn it to the other side, okay, this side says welcome. And this side says sweet home. And it's quite like the North American type thing, like the little truck and everything. But you change the back of the truck for every season. And for Valentine's, and we know that I like to decorate for every season and stuff. So yeah, I put the hearts in the back, and that is my little decoration for today. And rose petals. And now I am gonna clean this up anyway, so I'll just throw all these rose petals up in the air, and maybe I'll do like a still shot of that if it works. All right, one more time, rose petals, yay! Okay, so have a good time this week. Enjoy yourself and start writing down those cosmic order and manifestation lists for you. Try to be very specific for what you want. Try to say the positive and say it in the positive. And we will see you next Sunday on the 13th. Same time, same place. Love you guys. Have a great week. Bye.